Okay, welcome to part 2 of the videos reviewing purchases from my last couple of days down at Peter Pig. So the next batch is for pieces of 8. Now these are pirate ships for pirate ship battles in the Caribbean. I've got a few of these painted up, 3 I think, and I've probably got 3 or 4 others ready to get painted, but these are a lovely set of rules for ship-to-ship combat during the early mid 18th century when pirateering was at its height. And this is the number of packs. So these first packs here, I won't get them out, but these are deck guns. No, they are deck crew. These are tight. So these ships are 1/450th scale, so I guess that's what same scale that these little pieces are, but you just glue them onto the deck and it shows you the crew scuttling around and manning the guns and splicing the mainsail and whatever it is that the crew do on these ships. So I've got a couple of packs of that. That's pack 1 from range 18 and pack 4 from range 18, although they look the same actually. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but anyway. Then we've got some, so I think actually one of these will be light guns. Yes, so these are light guns to go on, there you go. Light guns to go on the deck of your pirate ships, and then these I think are probably either medium or heavy guns to go on the decks, and I think these are the heavy guns actually. These look way bigger. So you just populate the decks of your ships with them, which are these things. So let's open one of these. Let's open bigger ones. Yes, so this is the medium warship that Peter Pig do for their pirate range. There's about 8 or 9 different variants. There's a couple of large ships, a large merchant and a large battleship or warship. Then a couple of variants of the merchant and war medium ship, and then I think 3 or 4 small ships or something had escaped there. And there is a video that Martin does which is excellent to show you how to build these things, but they aren't complicated. As you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if we can get that a bit better for you. There we go. There we go. About 5 pieces. So we've got the hull. These are again wargaming pieces, and the detail is lovely. And you can do as much or as little to these as you want. You can add rigging and beautiful flags and all sorts of things. So as you can see, there's some room here on the decks to add those very small crew figures and guns to just add to the detail. So we then have a couple of sails, so it's pretty easy to work out which goes where. So I'll just do a very quick dry fit so that you've got the main sail. Just sometimes takes a little bit of wiggling, but a dry fit is usually pretty successful on these models. And you see, as Martin says in his video, always turn the sails slightly to the left or the right. They would very rarely be facing dead forward. So just a slight tilt of the angle of the sails there to make it look a bit more realistic. Then we've got, I think this is the yard arm. I'm not that familiar with naval terminology, but that sits in quite nicely there. And just a tiny spot of super glue and it's done. And then you've got the back plate. So this is where the captain would be. These are like the windows. Let's see how close we can get that. There's the windows, and it's painted quite a nice fancy colour. And that literally just fits on the end of the ship like that to give you that nice sort of detail. So as you can see, the wargaming pieces, I've seen people do some really tremendous things with these. Certainly Louis from Minerons adds rigging to these ships and adds some very, very fancy flags. They're absolutely beautiful. So pack 11, there we go. I think that's probably the medium merchant ship. Has got 3 sails, as you can see. Some of these have, is this an example? Let's have a look, open it up to see. Yeah. So that's the deck detail of one of the other ships. You see it's got a smaller space here at the back for the end piece. That just needs a bit of filing down. There's not an awful lot of work doing on these. These will be based on a rectangle of card and painted blue with the name of the ship most likely added to it. I'll be inventing those names. Yep, so here we go. So there's a little tag there. What's that tag say? Anything interesting? I have no idea what that refers to. Don't know if you can see it. It says 678 1011A. Well, that's interesting. I must ask the workshop what that refers to. In any case, so that will be the... Oh no, that's entirely the wrong way around. So we'll go to the front. We've got the main sail here. Try not to drop it, Sean. Again, just takes a little bit of wriggling. And then the rear sail here. But on the bottom, you can see there's some space then. That's for this sail. Now, there will be... There's another little spigot there, but I've no idea what it means. There'll be another... there'll be a real name for this sail. I'm not sure what that is. This detailing across the bottom is the lines that they would use to roll the sail up. But there's a fitting on the back of it, a little lug. And what happens is you glue this onto there. So it's sort of in this presentation. Which then sits at the back of the ship. So let's just see if we can do that quickly. There we go. It obviously helps the directional aims of the captain. And then there's a smaller rear piece that just needs a tiny bit of filing down there, but not an awful lot. That just fits very nicely on the end there with a dab of super glue. And again, that's the generally the officers' quarters, captain's quarters. Will be painted in some nice colours, gold or red, white or something, and maybe a flag added onto the end of it. I made a bit of a hash of opening that packet, so I'll just add that in there so I don't lose any pieces. So you need about 9 or 10 of these ships, I think, for a decent game. Here we've got some of the smaller ships. There are a couple more of the larger ones. Here's some of the smaller ones. Just got the one sail, but again you can add some detail with the crew around it. And there's the sail there. This will be a sloop or a flute or something, I think they were called. So I've got 2 of the same there. But I've got enough now. So if you want to cover all the options in the rules, you'll need about 18 or 19 ships, I suppose, which isn't a huge outlay, but you can get away with actually 8-9 ships to play the full game. But I like having all the options. So if I've got a medium ship, I want to have a medium ship on the table. And I want enough for my opponent to have as many medium ships as he wants to. So there we go. I'll do a review of the Pieces of 8 rules in due course. But these are lovely, solid, well-detailed castings for Peter Pig's Pieces of 8 rules, but can be used obviously for any early to mid 18th century naval type combat. They can be painted up as simply as you wish with a brown wash over a white undercoat with a bit of a dry brush, or as detailed as you wish, reflecting the ships of the time. But I hope you've enjoyed that short video. Look out for part 3 coming soon, when I look at some, what shall we say, Wars of the Roses. There we go.